Hi. Weather's been nicer where I am. You see my curtain? It's moving. It's because of the wind coming from outside, coming from the river. And I'm happy about it because when I was here a few months ago, here in Ho Chi Minh, it was unbearable. The heat was unbearable. But it's been raining, and yeah, I feel like it's been more chill recently. I did not like being here a few months ago. So I used to live in Hanoi, and I liked staying there. And then I moved here because of my new job, and I couldn't find any other options in Hanoi. So I really had to move here, and I was kind of miserable. But I've been better now after doing the Vipassana meditation. And yeah, I'd like to talk more about these feelings and how it affects our reality and the way we present ourselves to the world, the way we project ourselves to the world. Sounds heavy, but yeah, I'll give you an example. A while ago, I was meditating this morning. So I meditate in the morning for an hour and an hour in the evening. And while I was doing my meditation, I felt annoyed. I felt annoyed at the guided meditation. Lately, I've been trying guided Vipassana meditations just to keep it fresh rather than just listening to the teacher Goenka. Goenka is the name of the primary teacher of Vipassana. And I tried another one. And then suddenly, I was annoyed at the one leading the guided meditation, whoever he is. I don't even know who he is, but like, what are you saying? Or something like that. He wasn't saying anything wrong. I would have continued being annoyed if I wasn't introduced to this practice. And then I realized that a feeling of annoyance is arising up in me. So all these feelings are ever present in us: anger, sadness, happiness, joy, excitement, grief, and things like that. They're all present in us. And while I was doing my meditation, the feeling of annoyance was arising. And I've attached myself to it. So I got annoyed at the one guide doing the guided meditation for no reason. But my mind wanted to find a reason for that feeling. And it pointed to that particular person. So yeah, for us who are involved in the daily chores of lives, we do feel lots of feelings, and sometimes they just arise because that's the nature of sensations. It's the nature of life, of living. They just arise, and then we make sense of them and we project them to other people. And another example to this is that I happen to have a lot of anger stored in me. I know of that. I have a lot of anger stored and suppressed in my body. And if I haven't learned about this kind of processing emotions and thoughts, I would be projecting this anger to just anyone. Anger is a memory. It's a memory stored in our body, and sometimes they appear in the present moment, and then we we project them to the outside world. Sometimes it's not the people around us. It's just that we have a lot of things stored in our body, and they need to be attended to. They, they need our awareness and for them to be processed. So imagine, say, a colleague, for example, or someone you know who complains a lot. I've had a colleague who's like this. He complains a lot about anything. But to me, or to the view of my other colleague, it's just a normal thing. But for him, it was a heavy thing or something so problematic already. Like, the printer is not turned on and then everything just blows up. But, we can just plug in the printer. He made it a really big issue. And if you can see, it's not really the outside people not being able to plug in the printer for him to be able to use. It's actually more of him. He had a lot in his body to release, and he wasn't aware of that. And that's for when we see another person. But the real wisdom here is knowing how we are actually acting that way as well, that we let our feelings control or lead the way our day goes. They they kind of, instead of us having the agency or the autonomy to be able to lead our lives, it's our feelings that lead us through life, and I mean through our day. And that's how I've been living my life for so many years, letting my emotions get the better of me. And I thought it was a good thing, to be able to feel, which is a really good thing. Some people can't feel, and being able to feel is the next level. It's better to be able to feel than not able to feel. I have a note here that I wrote that says, drop the judgment and see that it is just a feeling. So, like I said a while ago, I'm reiterating. These are all realities in our body, our feelings, anger, resentment, or things like that, heaviness. And then when they arise, we automatically attach our judgment or our thoughts to it to make a meaning out of it. If you want to live a lighter life, detach the thought from the feeling and just watch this part of you go through, and then eventually it dissipates, it goes away. So as much as possible, we don't want our thoughts, intermingled. Otherwise, it creates a knot in our body, and it increases and increases. The knot increases not only within us, but then we start to project to our outside environment, and then our relationships gets knotted as well. It's not as pleasant as we wish them to be. So yeah, be careful with our thoughts attaching to our sensations. And that was what I I kind of felt a while ago, or what I realized, or the insight that came to me a while ago while I was meditating. And yeah, I wanted to connect this to the practice of protesting. I used to join lots of protests, political protests, environmental protests, and things like that. And when I look back at it, my what was propelling me was my emotions of anger. As I told you that I now realize that I have lots of suppressed feelings of anger and grief as well. And I was using this to fuel the protest. Of course, there's the thought of, protecting the environment, of justice, or things like that. And I had this feeling of anger, and then they attach together these belief systems. They are good belief systems, no judgment about it. And then there's this feeling of anger, and then that was how I was doing the job of, supposedly protecting the environment, or, promoting justice, or whatever good beliefs I have or values I have in my head. And it consumed me. It was so, so tiring. It was so, so tiring, I tell you. And I'm a person who has a lot of tiredness in her as well. And I just realized this, that my emotions make me tired. My heavy emotion makes me tired. I sleep a lot. I procrastinate a lot. These heavy feelings take a lot of my energy, actually. And after all those attempted efforts to change the world and make it a better place, attaching my anger and my beliefs, I felt depleted. And then I grew, I don't know, bitter, maybe not bitter. I'll find the word as we go through. But yeah, I still believe justice, and of course environmental sustainability and things like that. And it's still what fuels me, these ideals, these values, like most of you, like most of us. But right now I want to have it come from a better place, not from negative emotions of grief and anger and hopelessness. I want it to come from a sense of centeredness, sense of positivity. Because when you feel good and you do something, people around you will also feel that goodness, that comfort, and that peace. So whatever vibrations your actions is coming from, people would feel it. You would know this because you go to a place and you feel like ooh, it feels so peaceful, or ooh, it feels so comfortable. And then you go to another like abandoned building and, make it, your receptor tells you that there's danger or there's fear. And it's similar with a person. Person is a whole environment. And I'd like to create that in myself, and that be the fuel for the next actions I take on. I'm not saying that I'm not gonna do protest anymore, but right now I'm looking at advocacies that are centered, because taking a time, there are peaceful protests, and I like it to be coming from those from centeredness. Yeah. So I'm saying this because there's a lot of efforts, a lot of advocacies that want to raise awareness about the war, about Gaza, about Palestine, and other things that are happening in some parts of the world. Of course, there's anger, there's grief, there's hopelessness that they trigger with to whoever is watching the news. And yeah, this kind of news deplete our energy. And well, at least for me, I don't know for you, but I hope that it doesn't leave you triggered. You be aware of how these affect your feelings, how these affect your sensations, and then you attach to the thoughts, and then you create a much more convoluted reality. If you want to live a life of activism or advocacy, it's best to focus on one instead of having different focus or different things. Otherwise, they're just thoughts in your head. When you focus on one, you are more effective because you're able to do something. The doing is the activism. The thought, the dialogue, the discourse, online or anywhere, is I don't know. For me, it's not real. Yeah, it's just there. It's just there. You know, doing something concrete, however small that is, to promote what we believe in. That's why we go to this advocacies and things like that. It's really how to go with it. It's really how I want to go with it. I'd like to keep going back to myself to own what I say, because I don't want you, I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm just sharing my experience. Maybe you have similar experience, but I'm not trying to tell you to do this or that. Uh, I want to honor your journey towards this, but just want to share my own perspective on doing things, on trying to make this, wherever we are, this environment where we are, the way that we think it should be, the way we believe it should be. Yeah, it's coming back to our center. And the way to do that is to drop our judgments, drop our thoughts, and not let it attach to whatever sensations and feelings to us. It's coming back to that center, it's coming back to that stillness, so you get energized to do things. Because as I'm in my center right now, I feel so much more energy. Um, and I hope you you'll be able to find that practice as well. Either that be yoga, going to the gym, or just, gardening, anything that energizes you. You go back to that place before you decide on acting on something that's in this realm of the thought. Because the reality is in the sensation, reality is in the experience, whatever we see, we hear, we feel. And thoughts are just thoughts. Don't, you know, don't live in there. And don't attach whatever this is to this without awareness. It's gotten cold. It's a nice morning.